The purpose of this video is to explain and demonstrate subtenancy within MindSphere version 3. A subtenant is a subaccount of the primary tenant used to segregate assets so that one customer does not have access to another customer's assets. A subtenant should be created for each customer so that the customer has access only to their machines. Let me demonstrate how this works. Existing subtenants can be found in Asset Manager. And here you can see that I have two subtenants, Acme Air and Cthulhu Coil. Acme Air also has been divided up into additional asset types called areas and sites. Here, within the Acme Air subtenant, we have a Acme North Plant site. And within that site, we have an area, and within that area, we finally have our asset. Now, let's try creating a subtenant. Subtenants are created through the Settings app. Using the fourth tab down here. Here we have a list of all of our existing subtenants. Let's create a new one. And we'll name this subtenant Bravo Benders. Currently, there are no users assigned to this subtenant, so let's create a subtenant user. Create user, John at example.com. We'll make him a subtenant user of subtenant Bravo Benders, and create user. Now, we'll give John the role of subtenant user. And now we see that John is a member of Bravo Benders. Now, let's add a site and an area to our newly created subtenant. Sites and areas are created in Asset Manager as they are both considered assets. So to create a site, we'll click on Create Asset and choose Type Basic Site. Now, Siemens documentation is not very clear on the intended use of sites and areas, but it makes sense to me that a subtenant would have multiple sites, and each site would have multiple areas, each of which would have multiple machines, and so that's how I've organized it here. So we'll call this Site 1. You can add location data if you like. And now here is our site. Now if you click on the three dots over here, you can move this asset so that it is nested within another asset. So we'll select Bravo Benders and hit Accept. So now we're in Bravo Benders looking at Site 1. Now, when you're creating nested assets like we are, instead of using the Create Asset option, you can also use the Add Child Asset option, which will create the asset and then nest it under the selected asset. So we'll use that to create our area. We'll choose Basic Area for the asset type, and we'll call it Area A. You can enter location data again if you want. Save it. And now here we have our Area A asset nested under our Site 1 asset, nested under our Bravo Benders subtenant. Alright, so now I've got a basic area. There's no machines here. Let's go all the way back to the top. And we can move one of our assets, an actual machine, into that area. Now, deleting a subtenant, should you need to do so, can be kind of tricky, so I'll demonstrate how that's done. To delete the subtenant, go to Settings, select the subtenant, and click Delete Subtenant. Note that all users currently assigned to that subtenant will be deleted with the subtenant. You can see that the subtenant is now deleted. However, let's go back to Asset Manager. Here you can see that there's an asset remaining named Deleted Bravo Benders. Now, I believe this is because the Bravo Bender subtenant still had assets assigned to it. For example, the area, the site, and our Triumph Bender are still assigned to it. So instead of deleting all of those things, including our Triumph Bender, it left it intact for us. So now, if you try to delete this from here, it will not let you because it has child assets remaining. So what we must do is start at the bottom, and we'll relocate our main asset back to the top level. And with that out of the way, we can now delete our area and then delete our site. And finally, we can delete our old subtenant.